Welcome back, guys, to Fire Emblem, where we look to put an end to our boss here, Gashilama, and his slave trade that's been going on. Will Mordecai deal the finishing blow? That is our preferred situation, for he should strike a blow for those feral ones, that's for sure. So we'll move him over here to this bush, which should mean that he has a little bit better stuff. He has Smite as an ability here. Now, what is that? Doubles the effect of shove, so we can smack him in a direction, but we don't really want to do that, do we? We just want to end the battle. More to the point, we need to end the battle. We've got a 20% chance to not hit after all, and we don't want this boss hitting any of our guys, because he's most likely able to take him out. So smash, Mordecai. Get your revenge. Huh, tiger! Tigers are dangerous. I've got to trick it into drinking the medicine. He's already gone feral at you, sir. And he'll finish you off as well. How did this happen? I've lost everything! And I think we now know how feral ones are made. But as Mordecai doesn't manage to level up, all that experience goes to him, but we do get a killer axe from the battle. As the battle is won, our duty is done. Let's grab the cargo and get out of here! The Grial mercenaries have returned. Well done. The news of your victory is welcome, as is the cargo you seized. Now, about your payment. Wait, this mysterious cargo was a bunch of really heavy crates. Would you tell me what they contained? Your job was to deliver the cargo. You've no need to investigate further. But Princess Alincia has returned to her quarters. You would do well to inform her of your safe return. It appears that the Apostle will handle your payment on the morrow. Perhaps you can speak with her then. I beg your leave. I must be going. Very well. Not going to get to find out that cargo just yet, eh? Thank all of you for coming, my fellow Laguz kings, as we move on. Now, what on earth is going on with the cutscene starting? What on earth is going on here? It's been decades since all of us were gathered in one place. I would extend my gratitude to King Degenseer of Goldoa, who arranged this meeting place at short notice. It was nothing, King Knegas. Fellow kings and countrymen, attend to my words. As you no doubt have heard, Dane has invaded Crimea and overrun her. Of course, Crimea is a Beorc nation. However, since the time of her founding, she has made every effort to engage the Laguz with honor and dignity. Never has this been more true than during the 30-year reign of good King Ramon. During this era, Gallia and Crimea initiated many ambitious cultural projects in an attempt to bring our divided people closer. One man has always reviled our work, the Dane King, Ashnard. Why he took this recent course, however, I know not. Ashnard's actions are monstrous. His army has put much of Crimea to the sword. Her people live in terror. Her king lies dead. And now, the Dain forces continue their ruinous march and cross the border into Laguz territory, into Gallia. That trespass, O King of Lions, is because your country chooses to harbour King Crimea's orphan, is it not? Yes, that is the justification they would present. But the Princess of Crimea is no longer in Gallia, is she? Your spies are as efficient as ever, King Tiban of Phoenicis. As you say, the princess has already departed for Begnion. I know this only because she came to the aid of a ship carrying Begnion's apostle. Ah! So Princess Elincia is safe and in contact with the Begnion Empire? That news gladdens my heavy heart. I do not believe that Dain yet has this information. If word got out that the Princess of Crimea has been granted sanctuary in Begnion, Dain might halt its invasion of Gallia. Your information is dated, Hawk King. Have your legendary eyes and ears abandoned you after all these years? You have something you wish to say? Would you be so kind as to explain yourself, King Kilvas? Princess Elincia barely escaped Crimea with her life, and then fled to Gallia. And yet a certain king of beasts there, one on whom she had pinned all hope, chose not to support her. With nowhere else to turn, the princess and her retinue spent 2 long months at sea, arriving in Begnion mere days ago. Dain knows of these events as well, and the king has dispatched a team of hunters to make a corpse of the girl. And that, dear kings, is the latest news, at least to the best of my poor knowledge. Dain knows the princess is in Begnion? King Kilvas, how did you come to possess this information? Why, there's no trick to it. I just perk up my ears and point them in the right direction. Or I think someone very specifically told them. You expect us to believe that a stray wind carried at your ears? This is an odd tale, Naesala. Do you think so? Well, there is one trick to information gathering that I know. Shall I share it with you? If it involves dealing with human scum, I'll pass. Foregoing my Laguz pride is not something I'm willing to do. Ha! Is that not always the way of Phoenicis? To cling to those last tattered remnants of pride? Instead of proclaiming that you will attack none but Begnion ships, just admit that you don't have the power to do more. What did you say? Both of you will desist at once. King Naesala of Kilvas, your actions of late can indeed be judged as too extreme. Black Dragon King of Goldoa, what do you pretend to know of my actions? Please enlighten me. I would remind you of the Beorc ship you attacked in Phoenician waters and left stranded in Goldoan territory. Oh, that. Naesala, you lying crow! You've been sneaking about in my territory again, have you? I heard from my own son, Kufnaga, that a Beorc resembling Princess Crimea was on board that ship. It is true. What? King Kilvas, you... Don't act surprised. I have no intention of ruling some tiny island nation forever. I will make Kilvas a name to remember. To that end, no amount of gold is enough. Laguz or Beorc, I care not. If the pay is right, there's nothing I won't do. I care not about the reach of your ambition, but you should choose your methods with more care. What good will it do to expand your domain, only to find enemies at your every border? I'll take your words to heart for the time being. You too, King Phoenicius. What good will your piracy do you if it earns you the wrath of Begnion? Continue at this pace, and there's no telling when the hostilities will end. Until the people of Begnion apologize for the slaughter of our brother herons, I will do no such thing. Prince Raisin of Serenes, are you of the same mind? Those humans burned Serenes forest and killed my people. No amount of human blood can slake my thirst for vengeance. For my siblings, for my countrymen, I demand justice. I cannot even return my bedridden father to our forest home. I am no soldier. I know nothing of war. So King Phoenicius acts in my stead. I am most grateful to him. I would not see him stop until Begnion has paid. Blood leads only to blood, and violence begets violence, nothing more. Revenge is simply another name for murder. And And you, King of Lions, what will you do about your home of Gallia? Now that you know Dane's feint toward Gallia is merely another move in his game of war, how will you act? They've made no formal declaration of war. Until they do, we watch and wait. If it's the first step towards eradicating all the human scum, Dionysus will help you destroy Dane. No. Unless this becomes a true war amongst all nations, I want you to stay your hand. As long as Gallia is protected by the Sea of Trees, we can stave off Dane's attacks. The luxury of a large nation. You would waste a chance to expand your territory just to maintain the status quo? Sad. I agree with King Gallia. If we were to form a Laguz alliance against Dane, we would drive Begnion to Dane's side and lose a valuable ally. The flames of war cannot be fanned haphazardly. Above all, we must think of Leiran's medallion. Its location is unknown. It still exists, we know this, and as long as it does, we cannot allow any war that could stand to engulf all of our nations. Do you understand, Laguz kings? I beg of you, do not forget it. And so with a meeting taking place with a very impromptu cutscene, we move along. The Laguz are speaking. Will this be a war between Laguz and Beorc? Or will we manage to maintain the status quo? Let's hope as we continue on to chapter 15. So begins chapter 15, the Feral Frontier. Oh my, if it isn't young Prince Olenis! Welcome, welcome, welcome! Neolucci, you're looking well. And feeling well too, thank you very much. This old crow's as spry as ever. Tell me though, how fares your father, King Rezia? The same as ever. Since that terrible day, he remains abed. He seldom rises anymore. I'm not surprised. In the span of a few days, he lost his family, his friends, and almost all of his countrymen. Yes. And yet, we're blessed that you are still with us. Prince Rayson, if there's anything this doddering old bird can do for you, please do not hesitate to ask. Thank you. I appreciate your kind sentiment. Sorry to have kept you waiting, Rayson. Hey, Lucci, you can talk ancient history later. Leave us at once. Yes, of course. I'm sure you have much to talk about, much to say. I'll just take my leave of you. Please, Prince Rayson, make yourself at home. Old Neolucci's always been fond of House Serenes. When he heard the White Prince himself was gracing us with a visit, he could barely contain his joy. So, Prince, what's this all about? We haven't seen your face around here in a long time, and I'm naturally quite curious as to your intentions. Your attitude during the Goldoa meeting piqued my interest. What is it you're after, Naesala? Why'd you provoke Tiban? You came all this way for that? Are you serious? Do not mock me, Crow King! Tiban is my father's guardian. If not for him, we might have suffered the end of House Solenis itself. I will not brook any insults to him. Oh, I see. So rather than ally yourself with me, your trusted companion of old, you would side with this new protector? That's an unfortunate shift in attitude. I trust you remember that when you and your sister were young, it was I, and not Tiban, who watched over you? Any change in my bearing can be laid at your roost, Naesala. After all, you, my old friend, are the one who continues to engage in commerce with my enemy, with humans. If you were to change your ways, I'm sure we could rebuild the relationship the two of us once shared. Oh no, that I can never do. You see, humans are essential to the fulfillment of my ambitions. You've changed, Naesala. If this is the path you've chosen, I've nothing left to say. I doubt you could ever understand what it means to guard Kilvas, Prince. To protect an entire country. King Naesala, Duke Tanas of the Begnion Imperial Senate, has arrived. Bring him in. Your Majesty, just now, I brushed against the most splendid specimen. Was that a Serena's noble? It's supposed to be extinct. What if it were? Oh, I was right. Wonderful. My eyes did not deceive me. Those dazzling white wings and that shimmering hair, sparkling like falling gold dust. And that is the crystallization of beauty in its purest form. Duke Oliver, will we please discuss the business at hand? Per your request, we've appropriated several pieces of art from the ships of Duke Gados. Yes, and you'll be compensated as promised. But right now there is something else that I simply must have. Really? Another request? What can we purloin for you today? More art, perhaps? Ho ho! Something much more stunning, and if you agree to my proposition, I will double your normal fee. That is a most generous offer. Tell me, what is it you desire? Let us guess. Desire? But surely you've already guessed. I think I have. As we move the action back to Begnion. Meeting with the Apostle was fine, but all she did was pay us and give us another job. She answered no questions. I wonder what she's planning. That cargo. I can't help but believe that there were living creatures inside, but what do you suppose the Apostle intends to do with them? I don't know. Titania, are all nobles and royals like this? They have plans and paperwork for every little thing, and their speech is as confusing as it is tedious. But Ike, the other nobles we know are different. There's Princess Alincia and King Galia, and the Dragon Prince too. All of them have been so nice and friendly and easy to talk to. Perhaps the rudeness of the upper echelon is unique to the Beor class system. Princess Alincia was raised in special circumstances. Maybe that's why she's so different. Bah, I could never get accustomed to the culture of Beor nobles. Ike, I'm here to report the results from the last battle. Why, thank you, Soren. As Marcia becomes MVP once again. The MVP of them all as a new ally here is Makalov. We spent a little bit of gold, but we earned 15,000 with it. We got 999 combat experience, and we got ourselves 215 bonus experience as well. Why, thank you. We suffered no casualties, and no one was seriously injured. Everyone was at their best. That concludes my report. Excuse me. So here we go again, to check all our menus and see who can support with whom, but Marcia there, Miss there with Rolf, pretty much it remains as it has been before, more or less. No one's gained supports that we've already supported with, so to be honest I can leave it still for now, can't I? It doesn't matter when I do the support conversation as to how the next one generates, hopefully, maybe, worrying now. Right then, so let's first of all check out our info before we move onwards, because we've got Servant here, Sigrid to talk to, and Makalov. Let's speak to the Servant first for a 2-star encounter. You're from the northwest nation of Crimea, are you not? You have my condolences for the terrible misfortune that has befallen your country and people. Yet you remain blessed. Fate has brought you here to the Grand Temple Minal. It's the splendor of Begnion, grandest of all the nations of Teleus. By the way, I hear you are travelling north to the Grand Desert. There are ancient ruins there, you know. They are the remnants of a race known as the Zunamma, who come from a civilization that predates our own. I'm sure you will enjoy the sensation of being immersed in such primordial surroundings. Yeah. It'll be a real picnic. Oh yes, picnics are indeed nice. Oh, but a word of caution. Studying the ruins from afar is one thing, but you would be well advised to keep your distance for safety's sake. It's said that there's a bandit stronghold near the northwest ruins, and we hear occasional reports of strange figures wandering the dunes in the northeast. Be careful. I'm sure we'll be fine. Right then, let's speak to Sigrid. How are your preparations progressing? They're underway. We leave within the hour. Your next mission takes you to the Grand Desert. You must choose your companions with care. The desert is just a large patch of sandy soil, is it not? Haha! With one major difference. Unlike sandy soil, you'll not find solid earth near the surface. You could dig and find only more sand. Those on foot and horseback may find it difficult to move around. I see. I'm sure that Soren knows much about these things, but... Has something befallen Master Soren? I don't know if he's feeling ill or just moping about. It all started when we arrived in Begnion. Oh. Be that as it may, it won't hurt for me to have this information. Can you tell me more? Of course. There's a little water in the desert, and the soil is very dry. Few trees or grasses grow there, which means there are no groves or anything else that would provide cover. And as I mentioned before, those on foot or horseback will find the sand slows their pace considerably. The exceptions are magic users, staff wielders, and thieves. Such people will not be affected to so large a degree. Thieves are agile, so I understand why they would be unaffected, but those skilled in magical arts? That doesn't make sense! I once heard an explanation from a magic user that I know. He claimed that the spirits he employed flew before him and cleared the sand from his path. However, considering the source, I'm not sure how much of that is truth. Who was the source? Prime Minister Cephalon. Would he play a joke like that? Haha! Well, the Prime Minister is a very amusing man, but please, allow me to continue my explanation. What else? Others who are unaffected by sand are Pegasus Knights, Wyvern Riders, and other flying units. Oh, and Laguz too. Terrain features don't seem to affect them much in either form, although they will be slowed some. You said Laguz, didn't you? Almost everyone here says subhuman. Well, of course. Beork and Laguz are both living things. Every precious life was created to be equal by the blessed goddess. The fact that there are still those who persecute Laguz in the land of the goddess, it is deplorable. Are you of a noble house? Yes, I am. One must be of noble birth to serve the goddess. But I thought that all nobles were half-crazed fools who can't speak the truth. You seem quite honest. Haha, I'll take that as a compliment. Oh, one last thing. What is it? The desert contains the remnants of more than one lost civilization. Rumor has it that treasures from those times still lie undiscovered beneath the shifting sands. Oh no, we're doing that again, are we? Those with good luck may come across such treasures during battle. Right then, I'm pretty sure I've been given algories up to this chapter, if you know what I mean. So maybe I'll have to take a peek, for treasures underground are usually hard to find. Indeed they are. So we've got ourselves one more conversation to do, but we'll leave that till next episode as I get sorting out people's weapons and the whatnot and make sure they're all ready for battle. I wonder exactly how many units we can take next time. I guess will be the debut in battle of Volk, really. We'll be using him next episode as well. Maybe it'd be good to put some battle experience on Soph as well and get him more ready for battle. We'll find out next time. Join me then for more Path of Radiance, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye.